Tune in for some happiness. Tune in for some fun. Tune in late at night or tune in the sun. This is TFM. Get ready to rock. From AM to PM. Come on. Let's talk.
TFM 95.4.
Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. These are the top headlines from our newsroom today. No plans for lockdown, says the Minister of Health in the country. No indications to prove new COVID-19 variant is dangerous, according to the Minister of Health. Travel plans of passengers go awry over border closure. Oman Air to continue domestic flights during border closure. UNGA President calls for ensuring COVID-19 vaccines accessible to all people. COVID-19 still surging in US, Europe despite vaccinations. Japan's COVID-19 cases top 200,000 as rising infections show no sign of abating. William returns, Satner retained for Test series. Good to be back, according to Castagna, after recovering from hamstring surgery. Pakistan women's team all set for training camping from Tuesday. These were the top headlines of the day. Let's see how the weather condition looks like in the Sultanate in our weather update.
Hi, my name is Maitha El-Shukaili for today's weather update. Right now, I'm outside the TFM studio in Al Khoir. Before we move on to weather, here's the fact for the day. Did you know that worms wiggle up to the surface of the earth before a flood? And this is because worms cannot get oxygen when the soil is flooded. As such, they come up to the surface to breathe. That's our fact for the day. Now join me inside the studio and let's take a look at how the weather will be like in the Sultanate. An alert has been issued by Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation authorities saying that the visibility may reduce due to the fog patches. In addition to that, there will be clear to partly cloudy skies along the coastal areas of the Oman Sea, and South Al-Sharqiyya may give isolated rain. There will be mainly clear skies over the rest of the Sultanate and high clouds formation in Al-Hajar Mountains. And there's chances of late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches in South Al-Sharqiyya, North Al-Sharqiyya, and Al-Dakhiliyya. With that being said, let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 23 to 20 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 22 to 17 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batina will be sunny, temperatures between 25 to 17 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batina will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 23 to 18 degrees Celsius. Al-Buremi will be sunny, temperatures between 25 to 13 degrees Celsius. Al-Zahira will be sunny, temperatures between 25 to 14 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhiliyya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 26 to 15 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiyya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 27 to 17 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 25 to 18 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 28 to 18 degrees Celsius. And the Far will be sunny, temperatures between 23 to 13 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now, before we get into the details of the local stories for the day, let's see how the COVID-19 situation looks like in the Sultanate today. The Ministry of Health has announced the registration of one death due to coronavirus case in the Sultanate. This has taken the total death cases in Oman to 1,490. The officials at the Ministry of Health has also extended their deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. In addition to that, the Ministry of Health has also registered 212 new coronavirus cases in Oman today. The total cases in the country have now touched 128,143, including 119,945 recoveries, as well as 1,490 death cases. The Ministry of Health also in the past 24 hours announced the registration of 200 recoveries. The ministry urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. Now from a local desk. Oman has no plans for an internal lockdown as the country closed its borders for 1 week starting Tuesday in the wake of a new COVID strain. Speaking in an interview with Oman TV, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al Saidi, the Minister of Health in the country, said, "There are no indications or a need to close any part of the Sultanate and that epidemiological surveillance is in place, and if the Supreme Committee decides that there will be a future closure in the Sultanate, it will be in limited places." The Supreme Committee has decided to close the country's borders for 1 week starting at 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Now, there are no indications proving to the new COVID-19 strain variant that is more dangerous, according to Oman's Minister of Health, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al Said. Speaking once again in an interview with Oman TV, the minister said that there are no indications so far that the new strain of COVID-19 is more dangerous than the previous one. The decisions of the Supreme Committee are based on the epidemiological situation of the virus, and there is continuous follow-up and monitoring. He also continued saying that wearing a mask, social distancing, and personal hygiene are permanent treatments. In addition to that, Oman will begin COVID-19 vaccination on Sunday, December 27th, the Minister of Health noted. According to the minister, 15,600 doses of vaccine will arrive in the Sultanate on Thursday. He informed that we will vaccinate chronic and frontline workers in the first category. People living in the Sultanate of Oman who have had made plans to fly out of the country over the next few days are confused as to what action they need to take next, owing to the decision to temporarily close the country's borders. Some expats in the country had planned to leave permanently under the Ministry of Labour's repatriation initiative, as well as various schemes offered by countries to which they belong. Among them was Sushil Das, who was hoping to leave on December 27, 2020. He said that I had booked my tickets with Air India a while ago, but I cannot fly now owing to this decision. I have almost completed my notice period and have made plans to vacate my flat accordingly. I'm in touch with my airline, but there seems to be no clear plan right now. I might have to go and stay with a friend for a while until I figure out what to do next. My family had advised me to come home sooner and request an early release from the company, but I thought everything would be okay. This was so unexpected. On the same lines, another expat scheduled to fly home is Cyril Delgado from the Philippines. He has booked his tickets for New Year's Eve, but uncertainties over how long the country's borders will remain shut for means he is currently in limbo. The Supreme Committee, who's dealing with coronavirus in the Sultanate, had made the decision to temporarily close all entry ports to the country by land, air, and sea from 1 a.m. on Tuesday, December 22nd for up to a week. He said that a lot of my friends who were planning to go to the Philippines to meet their families for Christmas and the New Year are now stuck here. Let us hope the decision to stop passenger flights ends after a week. On the same note, we had an Omani national Sultan Al Qayyumi talking to Times of Oman, who said that I had expected to travel to Qatar on Tuesday to bring my family back from Doha, but I have to reschedule my flight again. A travel agent in Oman said he and his team had been inundated with calls ever since the decision was made. Emergency plans have since been drawn up to accommodate passenger needs, and he is hopeful the closure will only last for a week. Now, domestic and cargo flights operated by Oman Air in the Sultanate will continue throughout the week-long border closure instituted by the Supreme Committee to deal with COVID-19. In line with the directives of Oman Civil Aviation Authority, Oman Air will suspend all international passenger flights to and from Muscat starting from Tuesday, 22nd December 2020 for a period of 1 week, said the airline in an official statement. It also added that domestic and cargo flights will continue operating as per the schedule. For rebookings, guests holding Oman Air reservations can contact the call center at 2453-1111 or Oman Air representatives in their respective countries. The statement also added that for further updates on our flight operations and services, please refer to our website and official media channels. We appreciate your patience and understanding with this matter. Well, these were the top stories from our local desk. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates from international desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. And now from our international desk. Volkan Bozkır, who's the president of the 75th session of the UN General Assembly, commonly known as UNGA, called for ensuring that COVID-19 vaccines are accessible to all people. More than ever, we must work together. As our hopes turn to vaccines for COVID-19, we must extend the same compassion and spirit of cooperation. We must ensure that decisions are not driven only by profit or narrow national concerns, but by a need to protect all people everywhere, the UNGA president said in a video message for the International Human Solidarity Day, which falls every year on December 20th. He also continued saying that there must be vaccines for all, fairly and equitably accessible in all countries. The UNGA president underscored that the COVID-19 pandemic has not been conquered yet, and millions continue to be infected, and the economic impacts affects billions. He said that as we celebrate Human Solidarity Day, during what has been one of the most challenging years of our existence, let us continue to lean into this sense of one global community, one humanity, together, said the veteran diplomat from Turkey. The International Human Solidarity Day, as I said, is observed on December 20th every year, is an international annual unity day of the United Nations and its member states introduced by the General Assembly during the 2005 World Summit. It was established on December 22, 2005 by Resolution 60/209. Its main goal is to recognize the universal values of poor by making the associate countries aware of reducing poverty and to formulate its countermeasures as signed by the independent states. The number of COVID-19 infections in the United States and Europe continues to surge despite the start of vaccinations, the New York Times has reported. Calling the United States the world's largest coronavirus hotspot, the article published Saturday noted that the country has registered more than 17.6 million total cases with over 315,000 deaths. The United States on Friday saw over 250,000 daily cases, almost doubling the number of people in the country who had received vaccinations as of the same day, the article pointed out. Meanwhile, the European continent has reported more than 15 million total cases, it said. Overall, the global caseload of COVID-19 has topped 75 million, while over 1.6 million people have died of the disease, it said. Japan's cumulative COVID-19 cases topped the 200,000 mark on Monday, with surging cases around the country causing heightened concerns about the medical system's ability to cope under the increasing strain. Japan confirmed 1,806 new cases on Monday, pushing the nationwide caseload up to 201,050, not including those related to a cruise ship quarantine near Tokyo earlier this year. Now, despite the recent surge in virus cases and the strain on the medical system, Japanese Prime Minister Suga said on Monday that there was no need to declare a national state of emergency, although further restrictions on bars and restaurants may be put in place. But many experts were extremely concerned about the pace of the virus spread, as it took more than 2 months for the figure to double to top the 200,000 mark, compared to the 9.5 months it took to reach the 100,000 mark from when the first case was diagnosed in January. Meanwhile, Japan said the virus variant that is now prevalent in Britain and had a lead to numerous countries banning flights from there has not yet been detected here, although other countries have been affected by the fast-spreading strain of the virus. Cabinet Chief Secretary Kato told a press briefing that the Health Ministry is in close contact with the British government and the World Health Organization regarding the virus variant. Kato also said that Japan had no plans to immediately tighten travel restrictions. According to health officials in Britain, however, the new strain of the virus could be up to 70% more contagious, exacerbating its rapid spread, although as yet there is no evidence that it reduces the effectiveness of vaccines or is deadlier. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates your way from a sports desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now continuing stories for the day, straight to our sports desk. New Zealand on Monday confirmed that spinner Mitchell Santner has been retained in the squad for the upcoming 2-match test series against Pakistan beginning December 26, 2020. New Zealand will push for a spot in the inaugural ICC World Test Championship final, which is set to be played in June next year. The first assignment for the 13-player squad is the iconic Boxing Day Test, which will be hosted at Bay Oval for the first time before the New Year's Test at Hagley Oval in Christchurch on January 3, 2021. Following a 2-0 win over the West Indies this month and India earlier this year, Kane Williamson men sit just behind India in third on the WTC points table. A series sweep against Pakistan and a heavy defeat for India and Australia would see New Zealand well placed to return to Lord's in London for another ICC final. Moreover, Captain Kane Williamson returns to the side after missing the second test against West Indies in Wellington to be with his wife Sarah ahead of the birth of their first child. Leicester City defender Timothy Castagne was elated to mark his return to action with three Premier League points in a hard-fought 2-0 success over Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. The Belgium international had not featured since the 1-0 win at Arsenal in late October, missing 12 games across all competitions during that period. However, after recovering from a hamstring injury, Castagne played an hour at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Jamie Vardy's penalty and an own goal from Toby secured the points for the visitors. Yes, it is good to be back, especially with a win here against a very good side. It is great to be back. It feels very good. I have missed it, and when you can play again, it is great, Castagne told the club's official website. He also added that you see your teammates and you want to help, but you cannot. So hopefully it is going to happen. It is not going to happen anymore, and I can play as much as I can. Now, Pakistan Cricket Board on Monday announced that women's team is all set to attend the training camp, which commences on Tuesday for next month's South Africa tour after 26 players and 12 officials returned their second negative COVID-19 results. A player presently out of the country and an official will join the camp later in the week after returning the 2 mandatory negative tests. Separately, a player has been advised a further week's rest so that she can completely recover after an antibodies test revealed she had recently resuscitated from COVID-19, according to the statement issued by the Pakistan Cricket Board. Pakistan will tour South Africa to play 3 ODIs as many T20Is starting on January 20th. With this news, we have come to the end of the episode for today, but stay tuned as we'll be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. with more updates and news your way. Keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.